ask me whatever.
So give me the origin story like Wolverine.
It was very childish in some sense, I guess, and we had very good connection with him.
In the US, that sounds like a felony. In Germany, it sounds normal.
I said, guys, I don't need no money. Well, I have a billionaire friend now that wants to help us.
The good boy did his job.
Yeah.
And now the bad boy gets to play. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we're doing something a little different today. Normally, I'm at home operating on Zoom, but here I'm with the famous, infamous Thomas Kralow at his lovely house. I'm not quite sure where in Dubai I am, but I'm in Dubai. We'll spare the world the details, but it's very nice, and you invited me over to have this discussion, and we're recording in your living room with a fantastic setup in your own person. So thank you very much for your hospitality.
Thank you very much for coming, Gordon. Happy to see you.
Yeah, and suggesting this. This is unusual for me, so it's cool. Yeah. It's fun. It's actually it's a highlight of my day.
Yeah.
So thank you. The reason I reached out to you initially is I met you a year and a half or 2 years ago, and you just made a positive impression. And you also gave me some guidance as I was beginning my YouTube channel, which I appreciated. You took the time, and that was generous of you. It's a while ago. I don't know if you remember, but yeah, I think you invited me over last time.
I think it was 3 years ago. I think it was a while back.
Oh my gosh! Time is flying faster. You'll find this as you get older. It flies faster and it compresses. And I've sort of watched from an appreciative distance your ongoing evolution. You were already doing great when I met you, and now you got a lot more things going on, and I thought it'd be great to catch up. You and I had a few words before we just started recording, and I'm gonna set the framework. I'll even say it out loud for the audience. I think it'd be fascinating to find out about your progression from Latvia and your first introduction to crypto moving forward, and see the paths you followed and where it's gone.
Yeah.
That's interesting history, and of course to get your philosophy on these topics. But given what you're doing right now with EVEDEX and your other business platforms, there's sort of an empire forming. Now that empire has challenges and is in various stages of growth and success and everything else. And obviously some of it's spontaneous and some of it is planned. I want to get into your mind, not just as, to use the old term, like influencer or thought leader, but you're now having a multifaceted entrepreneurial vision with its benefits and with its pains. And I want to explore that also, sort of the meta perspective, if that's okay with you.
For sure, Gordon. I'm an open book, so.
You're an open book.
Ask me whatever.
You're all on blockchain.
My wife is not going to like it, but yeah.
You and I are both married men, and you know what? we live on the edge. We say what's on our mind and deal with the consequences later on video. Yeah. No, just kidding. Okay, so let's start at the roots and then move forward. So give me the origin story like Wolverine.
Yeah, so I was born in Latvia in 1994. Then I migrated to the United States. I spent a lot of years in New York. That's where I went to school. That's where I went to college. That's where I went to university. Was supposed to become a lawyer, and then my life has... I got accepted to Harvard for one semester. I was a Harvard student, but we could not...
Undergrad or law school?
No, it was undergrad.
Okay.
I studied international law and human rights with Beth Simmons for one semester, and then we could not afford it, so I had to fucking quit. So I could not get a scholarship. So I was not smart enough for a scholarship. So anyway, then my life at the age of 19, a week before turning 20, I got my bachelor's degree because I skipped many years in high school just because I kind of understood the system a little bit and I didn't want to waste my time. Mm-hmm. So, and this was the time when I was introduced to a person who was an asset manager, and he was also a trader from the world of finance. Mm-hmm. And that's basically, at this point, 11 years ago. And this is what diverted my path from law to finance. And since then, 11 years in the traditional financial space, so it's like the stock market, indices, etc. And then the last 6 years, crypto, 5-6 years.
So who was this guy, and how did you connect?
It was random. A lot of things in my life actually have happened through few, but the right people. It was just because I grew up without a dad, and my mother, she met a very interesting German guy in Germany. He was like half Swiss, half German. And we kind of connect. He was like, at the time, 55 years old. He didn't have a family, no kids, no nothing. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of a different person than what I am today. I was very childish in some sense, I guess. And we had very good connection with him. Guy was worth many millions of dollars, and we could watch cartoons together. It's weird shit. Weird shit.
Okay.
But
sounds very German.
Yeah,
Actually, in the U.S. that sounds like a felony. In Germany, sounds normal.
sounds like a felony.
Okay.
Exactly.
Waiting to happen.
Yeah, but it was not. It was not in that way. Even though it was suspicious at times, but no, it was all genuine and nice. And so he kind of invited me to this world of finance because I saw the type of money he had, and my mother kind of programmed me since I was a kid that I need to take care of the family. So money was my priority. So, and I said yes, and that's how my journey in financial world began.
And did he have an active company? Was he an investor?
No, he was working for a small boutique investment fund. So he was like an asset manager and advisor, and he was also doing a lot of trading for himself.
Okay, and then you come in there as a junior trader and intern. You're shadowing him, or
just shadowing him, just following. Like for 6 months, I lived in Switzerland for 6 months.
Okay,
so I had to migrate.
Zurich?
It was Zurich. Yes.
Oh, yeah, nice.
So I had to migrate from New York to Zurich and just give up on my entire life in the U.S. and live in Switzerland. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, and so how long was that stint?
That was 6 months.
Pretty brief.
It was pretty brief. I mean, but to be honest, the world of finance, when you are with a person 24/7 who knows what he's doing, it's enough. It's not rocket science. It's not really. I mean, it comes down to what I've learned down the road in a painful way. It's all about experience. So I can explain to you, like, the way we look at the market, like our trading team, the way they trade today. I can explain it to you within 3 hours, but you're not going to be able to replicate it.
Sure.
So it comes a lot of the shit, like the actual edge the traders are looking for, it actually is internal. That you're so in tune with the market for so many years that you'll almost like start to feel it, you know? So, and that's something you cannot pass on to others. So therefore 6 months of technical
Let me
learning,
ask you a question. Is that talent, is that learned or exposed through experience?
I think it's just experience.
But is that something innate that comes out with experience, or is that something you're learning?
No, in that sense, it's both. I think it's just both. Yeah, it's something that comes to you through not giving up. Just like Michael Jordan, you know, how many, balls he's missed when it's same thing. And then you don't even think about the way you're throwing the ball. You feel it. In the market, it kind of is the same. I mean, you still rely on a shit ton of data, but that last 1% that really can swing you from profitable to losing.
Sure. Is like most things.
Yeah, like
most things are on the knife's edge.
Yeah, knife's edge. Yeah. It's always, and in trading, everything is going to be extremely, like, this is the knife's edge of the knife's edge. Because it's money, it's direct money. So, and then the competition there is the most fierce. It's more fierce than in basketball. So, and it's all in the computer, and you're competing against algorithms that are based on AI these days, and HFT, like high frequency trading algorithms. So that's whom you're competing against.
But you were doing this 11 years ago. But I think that was still in the era of high frequency trading. That was algorithms.
Different. It was a bit different now. Like in comparison, previously, the FTX that collapsed, Sam Bankman-Fried, he made billions of dollars from just basic arbitrage, buying on one exchange and then selling for more on the other exchange.
Beautiful, yeah.
It was in 2007. It was like almost like yesterday, and it was possible. These days, these kinds of arbitrage opportunities are done by algorithms, which there is like you're no longer competing for the arbitrage. You're competing in terms of the speed of your processing. So and servers, so it's like it's not profitable for 99.9% of people.
You're gonna need like quantum communications at a distance soon.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're with him for 6 months, and then what happens?
And then I just go into my own free float, and I started my own journey in investing and trading. And it was like the money that I saved up, because as a teenager, I was speculating with a lot of stuff in the U.S., buying and selling electronics, used cars up to $1,000, like really cheap ones. I knew the market. I knew that I had to help my mom pay for my boarding and for school and stuff. So I had to find a solution. So first I got a job actually in the library, from which I got fired within 2 months for doing nothing, because I knew I couldn't make more than like $600 to $800. Like there was a limit imposed by the college. I couldn't work more than X amount of hours.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, and then I knew that it's not enough. So I spent a lot of time researching things and just on the internet. And that's why I got fired, because whenever somebody would come up to me and I had to do a job, like I was a computer assistant for students, like there was a separate desk, I would just send them to the other guy.
Great.
Always.
I think I remember you.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Small age.
So, yeah, I mean, and I got fired from it.
I think I remember someone like you. Yeah. Okay.
So, and then I kind of went.
No, so just to be clear, so after you're done with this gentleman, you're living in Zurich still? Or where
No. This is when I lived in New York.
Okay.
You mean when I was done with the trading stuff?
Yes.
No, I went at that time. I went to live back in Latvia, where I was born.
Okay, but what you're alluding to is when you were studying as a young man in New York, your mom had drilled into you, look, son, you got to take care of yourself and you got to take care of me. So you had a looking for the angles mentality.
Constantly, yeah.
Right. And so, you were the very unhelpful guy in the library. Thank you very much. We all thank you for that. But you whether it was financial assets or otherwise, cars, you were always thinking trading back and forth.
I was always looking for margin, yeah.
Always looking for margin. Good way to put it. Okay, and so after this gentleman in Zurich, you go to Latvia and you're now trading on your own book.
Yeah.
Am I understanding correctly?
Yeah.
Okay, and then kind of walk me forward.
So then within the next 3 months, I lost 70% of my money. And that was all the money that I had. This was the money I saved up from the speculation in the US. Because in the US, I started with literally like $1,000. And within 2 years, I got to the point where I was making like 5,000 to 8,000 a month speculating on things. Because, and in all fairness, the only place it's possible is the United States. In Europe, it's not possible because everybody's kind of broke in Europe. In the US, I mean, people would think that they're broke. But I could easily flip like 10 iPhones in a month, like $100 below market value, just because people want to get a new one and they want to get rid of this one. They don't want to fucking post their own ad on Craigslist.
Okay.
So, and with time, I was making quite good money and I was able to pay for my college and stuff. It was a pretty nice time. I bought myself a very used, but a Porsche at the age of 18 years old, which was
Big
cool.
Daddy.
A big daddy.
How's your dating life?
It sucked.
Really?
I was horrible with girls always. Yeah.
Okay.
I was always I was very introvert.
Okay.
And like I never knew what to tell to them. For me, they were always.
That's why you get a Porsche, so you don't have to tell anything.
It still didn't work, man.
Okay.
Like,
You found out what everyone else finds out.
I had girlfriends here and there, but it was all just meh.
Meh.
Yeah, it was. I was not professional at this at all.
You didn't have the red pill.
No.
Okay.
No.
That comes later.
Yeah. So, and then basically when I got into trading, all the money that I had, like I started with $16,000 and I lost most of that. And then it took me like 5 years to build myself up, but it was a very long journey. Yeah.
Geez, that's a serious chunk of time. So for 5 years, you're surviving off trading?
Yeah, 5 years I was doing nothing but trading, only trading, 5 years. So
Wow. Okay. And what are you trading?
It was mostly indices. I was trading mostly futures. I was trading DAX, S&P 500, NASDAQ. I've done my fair share of Moscow Stock Exchange. I've traded indices like RTS on Moscow Stock Exchange. I've done stocks in general. I've done okay with stocks, so I was buying stocks. So I've done okay with that. And then crypto came in the end of 2019, and I put in $80,000 into a crypto portfolio, my first crypto portfolio. And it went from 80K down to 35K when COVID happened. And then it went to 1.6 million. So
What were you in? Dare I ask?
What I was in?
Yeah.
I didn't buy no Bitcoin. I didn't even have any Ethereum. I had 15 different altcoins. Like it was old stuff like Chainlink, Stellar, BNB. I still hold some of that BNB.
Not that old stuff. I mean, that stuff's still relevant.
Some of it,
Yeah.
yeah. Some of the stuff is still like BitTorrent is fucking dead.
Of course.
So some of like Neo's dead. But like BNB, I was buying at $12. Now BNB is like $1,200.
Yes.
So I made 100x on BNB.
If you held it that whole time.
I still held BNB.
Okay.
Some not all of it, but some of it. So, but overall, I sold my entire portfolio except for a couple of coins, and partly like one of them was BNB, and made 1.6 million.
And you're still in Latvia at this time.
Oh, we just moved to Dubai at that time.
Okay, we'll get into the we in a second. What was your first crypto discovery?
It was Bitcoin in 2013.
Oh, so well before this period.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and then how did that come to pass?
Because I lived in New York at the time, and there was this exchange in Manhattan that actually could go buy these fucking whatever Bitcoin things.
And magic internet money.
Magic internet money, and I was like, yeah, go fuck yourself. I'm gonna go flip iPhones for a living. I could have been a billionaire now, but so many of us could have been. All of the people on planet Earth could have been. So yeah, I'm okay with it. But
I'm just happy to have some Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Right now.
So
a lot of people don't.
Yeah. So that's. I mean, I knew about it back then. I just didn't take it seriously, and then it just came back on my radar in 2017. I also didn't take it seriously, and then 2019, I was like, okay, let's put together a portfolio. So I did. And that was the easiest.
But that portfolio you put together wasn't actually Bitcoin. It was these altcoins.
No, it was altcoins. Yeah.
That's interesting. Obviously, as a financial way of gaining wealth, given. Do you see the value in the underlying technology and in the ethos of decentralization and what they were trying to accomplish? Or is it kind of like the dog that didn't bark? Do you think about that, and what do you think about that?
I mean, if we're talking about the underlying fundamental value of cryptography in general, I think that, first of all, it existed before even Bitcoin did. I mean, there's been so many coins before Bitcoin.
Yes.
Yeah, but the one that actually...
But decentralized proof of work is, I think, newish with Bitcoin, or when deployed in connection with the other related technologies. I think it's new.
No, I mean, it's evolved. But initially, the concept has been around for some time. It just wasn't as successful. You know, it's like it's similar to Facebook. You know, before Facebook, there was MySpace.
And before that, there was Friendster.
And there's a bunch of whatever stuff. But Facebook became that, giant. So I think that even though it kind of evolved into something different, that's what MySpace didn't want to do, as Zuckerberg has said, because they didn't do like something absolutely new. So with Bitcoin, it's a similar story. I think just in general, in terms of fundamental value, for me, over 50% of all of my net worth, liquid net worth, is Bitcoin right now.
Okay.
I don't have much money. Like in my account, I have maybe $30,000.
Interesting. Okay. So, but what I'm getting at is, even separate from the coins, does the blockchain technology itself, which can be applied to many things, do you see the value for society there?
Yeah, I can answer this question. So that's what I started to explain a bit. It was the stuff about my 50% of net worth in Bitcoin was the precursor to the explanation. For me, the reason why I do that 50% of net worth in Bitcoin in particular is because I understand what problem it's trying to solve, and that problem is inflation. So what has always been the problem with the Dutch, with the British, the entire history of humankind when we had money was inflation, and it was just money printing and greed and stupidity. Crypto removes that. And because of this, every single world reserve currency has collapsed. Ray Dalio is so correct in changing world order thing. It's all kind of dystopian a bit, but it's true. Everything he says makes total sense. And the dollar right now is at the last limb. They keep increasing deficits, like external debt, almost 40 trillion. These numbers don't even make no sense no more. So, and the only way to solve this, they cannot solve the problem by adjusting anything in this colonial, outdated monetary fiat system. They cannot do nothing with it. What they can do is replace it with something else, maybe with time, and with something that solves the core issue, and this human factor of money printing, and Bitcoin does solve that. And it's protected by 1,000 exahash of power output. So, therefore, these two things put together, I think, is enough for me to say that Bitcoin is going to either be worth a zero if it's all created by NSA and CIA to dump it all to zero and make people poor, or it's going to be worth $1 million a coin within the next 5 to 7 years.
I think the decentralized nature of it, plus the open source nature of the code, the decentralized nature of the network, plus the open source nature of the code, makes it really irrelevant who is created by. It could be the NSA, it could be Satoshi. Even if Satoshi shows up, all he has is a wallet. There's no, it's open source. Where's the back door?
See, it's not about the back door really. What really kind of bothers me, because they were trying to crack Bitcoin for a long time. They couldn't do it. So the mathematical probability of them cracking it now is just close to none if they haven't done it within such a period of time. The only thing that we're worried about is about Satoshi, really, that wallet holding so much. And if it were to awaken, it will bring a lot of volatility to begin with. And if they were to dump it all in one day, it would all just fucking crash it to zero almost.
Because for a moment. But the digital scarcity, there's only going to be 21 million. It is a distributed network.
That is a bit...
I would snap it up immediately.
From which price, though? From $1,000, from $10,000?
I think anything like that, I'd be comfortable that in 2029, it'll be above it.
That's a good approach, and that's the approach with Bitcoin, that you cannot really lose money with this trading strategy, so that's a good approach. The problem I have with this is that, for example, there is a lot of treasury companies. MicroStrategy has started this trend. I think it's all just a giant Ponzi scheme. Like, even though I love Michael Saylor, I love how bullish he is on Bitcoin, but issuing bonds and all this, and selling their own stocks to raise capital to buy Bitcoin.
Yes, that's a thing.
That's kind of a Ponzi scheme, and this is becoming a huge trend on Wall Street now, and not just with Bitcoin, but with a bunch of other coins as well. So it's starting to look like a recipe for a black swan event because of short-term greed of idiots. So that's what I feel like crypto is turning into. So what I'm trying to say is that even with Bitcoin, if 1 million Bitcoin were dumped on the open thin market with thin order books, and then we have a liquidation price of MicroStrategy, this thing like can touch a zero. And if it touches a zero, I mean, it's the situation where people lose trust, the governments lose trust, pension funds lose trust. They would not touch something that just touches zero no more. I mean, maybe with time and, you know, people like the wounds will heal 10 years down the road. I don't know, maybe. Or, you know, they will just scrap it and create something new, something more advanced, something with protections against, I don't know. But overall, what I'm trying to say is that it still is kind of a problem.
Fair enough. Okay, so now we got to, you were out at Latvia and you were here, and you went to We. So brief, you know, it's not the family show, but brief.
No, yeah, I mean, I've been married for many years. I've been with my wife for almost 9 years, and we've built everything together.
Congratulations.
Yeah, 99% of stuff we have, we've built together.
Oh, I love that Instagram thing about where she's saying, why don't you pay attention to me? And you're on the phone. Yeah. And then she's like, what is this? The car smells. We're stuck in traffic. And then you pick back the phone and she's back in the original environment. She's like, okay, honey, you work. I saw that. I was like, mwah. Yeah. I showed that to my wife. Yeah. And she's like, yeah, I like them.
No, it was fun. Yeah, I mean, this kind of, we've done a lot of social media together, and she brought me.
Was there a camera guy, the camera guy for that?
Yes, there was. Yeah.
Good job. I know you're off camera, but that
it wasn't him though. It was another guy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm giving you credit anyway. Okay.
Yeah. So we've done like a lot of stuff together, and we kind of built our vision together, and she has helped me with a lot of stuff. That's why I always say we, because I don't think I'm just by myself in this life. I'm fortunate enough to have a we.
That's great. 9 years. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Fantastic. What made you both decide to come to Dubai? Was it Dubai from Latvia?
Yeah.
Okay, and how did that come to pass?
I started doing social media. People started to recognize me a lot, and we started receiving, like, I mean, whenever you're young, you have money, people, you know, will kind of get jealous a bit. So, and we were,
especially in Eastern Europe, that's a thing. I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
Balkans and Baltics.
Yeah, yeah. So I was like 26. I bought, you know, like almost like a new Bentley in Latvia, and I was doing social media stuff. So people were not happy about it. And so we were like,
was it people where you have to be careful?
We got some death threats and stuff. Yeah, I mean, it was just normal part of the game, you know. It's like, what can you do about it? People are people. But at that point, we were like, okay, maybe it is a signal for us that we just need to find a place with, you know, other social levels, so that people don't, if you just drive a nice car, they don't want to kill you for it. No. So we just chose Dubai. We had an option Monaco, which is boring as hell, Dubai or United States. Sophia didn't like the idea of United States, that we settled on.
And remind me, when was this? What year did you make this transition?
This was right at the time, at the beginning of COVID, so 2020, 2021.
So reasonably, kind of the same time as me, actually. Yeah. That's when you came. And had you been to Dubai before?
Yes, twice.
Okay, and did you feel like you were taking a chance because you didn't really know Dubai, or did you feel that you had enough exposure that you knew what you were getting into?
I didn't really care. All I cared about is that it's sunny, that it's got no taxes. I don't like taxes. Fuck that. No, thank you. And that it's safe.
Fair enough. And just on the prior point, I've many Eastern, so it's a thing the world over, but many Eastern European friends, and almost, it's a common story, not all the time, it's a common story that they become successful and they begin to have a life that reflects their success, and either it's ex-friends or some criminal element or even the government that starts to get the hater vibe. Yep. And you can't stay a big fish in a small pond because they see you and they want to fish you out. Yeah. You kind of have to go where it's normal. It's a thing. I mean, I think in Germany, where I've got some roots, I think they may resent success and they resent people talking about it, but it doesn't necessarily make you a target. I think in Eastern Europe, it makes you an actual target. And if you got a marriage and a family, you got to think about these things. Yeah. So Dubai is fantastic when it comes to safety.
Yeah, I don't think about safety here at all. I mean, we have one, like, my driver/security living at the villa with us, but like we don't really, I mean, we have cameras and all this, but in Europe, whenever
the guy with the Uzis in front, that was your neighbor?
Who?
I'm kidding. I said the guys with the Uzis in front, no. That's your neighbor?
No, we don't get that here that much. But when we go to, for example, Europe, Latvia, I always have armed security with me.
Interesting.
So,
okay.
Like I always have at least 3 guys. So it's like, but it's just, I mean, I also made a lot of content in Latvian, and I kind of spoke about the politics a little bit.
Oops.
I mean, I was right about the things I said. But
I'm not saying you weren't right, but
yeah,
good move.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I did a bit of that a little bit.
I didn't say you were wrong, but okay, you kind of alluded to it. But let's dig into it. We got your trading background, you got your lovely marriage for all these years, and your fantastic team. But you, at some point, you started producing content and getting known as the content producer / influencer. How did that start, and what was that path?
It was started about 5 years ago. My wife, I mean, because I was trading for like 5-6 years.
So sorry, right on your coming to Dubai, or right before?
Yeah.
Before or?
No, I started before coming to Dubai.
Okay.
Yeah.
So really 6-ish years.
Five.
Okay. Right, but right on the cusp. Sounds like it's related.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my wife just talked me into it because she saw that I was just in the markets 24/7. I was pretty big. I have a big belly. I was like 20 kilos more extra. Didn't have too many friends, and it was very volatile. I mean, I always said the trading is difficult. So she talked me into trying social media, and I mean, I was like, what am I going to do on social media? She said, you can make money on social, because she was a blogger in Latvia. She was like, I mean, for Latvia, she was like 10,000 followers. For Latvia, it's not big, but like medium size.
Okay.
So she was like a bit famous there.
A bit famous.
Yeah. So
Thomas with his a bit famous wife. Okay.
Yeah. So
humble bragging.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she was doing okay, and she kind of talked me into it. She said that, look, I do brand partnerships. She was making like €1,000 a month from that. She was so happy about it. I mean, she was at the time like 18, 19, 20 years old.
Nice.
So, and I was like, okay, fine.
Another flex on your part. Good job.
Yeah.
Okay, go on. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm just saying.
Okay. Yeah, go on.
So you gotta pick the cherry,
Good to see you smile. I agree.
So anyway, jokes aside. So she talked me into it, and I was like, okay, I will give it a try. So I started making content, and I was making content in English. I pretty fast, like within half a year, gained some followers. Then she talked me.
Okay, now why? And where was the content, and why did you gain the followers?
It was in Latvia, and I was just making good content about trading, about investing, about money, about how not to be an idiot, and just sharing my life, and sharing what I do.
And was this in Latvian?
No, it was in English.
Okay, interesting. And YouTube or Instagram or TikTok?
It was Instagram, YouTube, TikTok.
Okay.
Just purely English. And it kind of resonated with people. I started getting some views and stuff, and then my wife talked me into creating my own courses. I always thought that courses is...
God bless her.
Yeah, God bless her. Thank you thank God for my wife, because I always thought that courses like only scammers sell courses, like courses like those who don't know how to do they teach, blah blah blah. Blah. But then when COVID happened and we launched our first education in the world of finance and trading and stuff, the first year, out of a budget of like $2,000 on ad spend, I mean, back then it was a different time. Now it's not that easy. From $2,000 ad spend within 1 year, I made $2 million from course sales. And I was like, fuck me.
Darn.
I was like, fucking hell. I mean, my best year in trading was like $1 million, and like everything aligned for me in that year. So it was okay.
What year was this?
I don't remember.
20,
it was before I even started with social media. So it was back, that was one of the best years is when I actually became a millionaire. And that was the age of like 24. So it was 3-4 years before social media.
I bet you could afford a new Porsche then.
No, I had a new Bentley.
I'm kidding. But you're talking about how in New York you got a used Porsche. So
I know, that's in New York. Yeah, in New York I had an old Porsche. It had 80,000 miles.
Right, so I'm playing with you. I'm saying at least now you could afford a new Porsche if you wanted one.
Yeah, but I opted for something nicer. I opted for a Bentley. Yeah, and that's where a lot of hate started, because when I didn't have social media and I was driving a Bentley in Latvia, nobody cared. But as soon as I started posting good morning stories from Latvia in a Bentley,
who's this young brash punk?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, and then basically, which was a nice year and all, but then I had a year when I lost money, and I mean, I was always very open.
But from the courses or from the trading?
No, trading.
Trading, right.
So from courses, you cannot lose money. It's impossible.
Okay.
So that's why, when I invested, I mean, it was different time. It was COVID. Everybody was at home, had extra money, wanted to gamble, they wanted to learn all these things. So yeah, from 2,000 ad spend, 1 month we spent just to test things out. We built a website. I created my own education. Like I wrote everything out, 150 lessons. I filmed them myself. But it's good stuff.
Good job.
It was proper. Like I spent 6 months on creating it.
Are you disciplined in this way? That's a lot of content over time.
No, yeah, it was just, I was working 24/7. Like,
I understand the amount of time involved, but that's an act of discipline and that's an act of consistency. So was that always your nature? Was it?
It was always my nature, because if I'm a man and I need to solve a problem, I'll do whatever I can to solve a problem, and discipline is the least of the things I can fucking do.
Okay.
So, not being disciplined is like being 12 years old. I mean, come on. So for me, I would wake up in the morning and all the strength I had, and I'm still like this. Like I go to bed sometimes, I literally have -1% of my battery left. Like if I go into bed and I feel like I have energy left, like it was a wasted day. It also comes with the negatives in life, but it's what, has allowed me to do more than some people. So but anyway, yeah. And with this, like we started with $2,000 ad spend. Like COVID hit, everybody's at home. I thought that the business is gonna die. I spent like $100,000 on developing the platform. We built our own platform for this. We've edited, even editing and filming and editing 150 lessons, 10 minutes on average each is a lot of resource. So we spent a lot of money just on that. So, and I thought that, okay, the business is gonna die, but little did I know it was perfect for the business. So 2,000 in the first month of ads, no social media, almost I had some, but it's not nowhere near what I have now. So people didn't really know me as much. And I found some marketing company in Latvia that used to just promote apples and oranges for some supermarkets, So, and we just started launching ads in Europe and testing things and creating like webinars and stuff, and basically like super basic funnels. Like the funnels we have now are quantum level. Like right now we're doing a launch. We have 30 different websites for one product, 30 websites that we're testing.
Cool.
And then we're like, even wording is different, coloring is different. Like it's quantum fucking.
So it's not A/B testing; it's A through Z testing.
It's A through whatever testing. Yeah, it's insane. So back in the day, like we had.
Actually, it's an interesting question. Are you going to keep the 30 websites live?
No,
as different funnels?
It comes down to one.
Okay, so you're really doing A/B testing on a massive scale.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
And then we have like 150 different ad sets, like different ads. 150. I had to film them. It took me 3 days, 12 hours a day to film those ads.
Darn.
Yeah. So. Back then, we just had a couple of ads, one website, one webinar, not even any variations of the web, just one webinar, like just talk. So, and first month from 2,000, we made 12,000. I reinvested it into ad spend again. From 12,000, we went to like 30,000. From 30,000, like 70,000. And within a year, we got to $2 million. So it was like, I was just printing money. And then I realized that social media, if somebody thinks that I'm a course seller or this or that, let them look at my bank account and suck a dick. I don't care no more. So,
did you feel anyone's judgment?
Oh yeah, I always felt it. Because when you do stuff on social media, you normally get hate. But if you start selling and you start selling aggressively, you get death threats. Because people understand how much money you're about to make. Oh, the hate is real. Like it's real, Gordon. Like it's deep. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. And then go on to your evolution.
Yeah. Sure. So then, after this, we've created a lot of other products and a financial academy and proper, really professional trading club that has, doesn't promise you no stupid stuff, but it's just good stuff that we trade ourselves a lot. And we do a lot of passive income. Like my portfolio is currently structured in a way that about 80% of my money is in spot, about 15% is in passive income. So it can be funding rate arbitrage, it can be liquidity pools, it can be staking, it can be a bunch of stuff in DeFi that we are targeting like 15% annual returns. And then 5% is trading in meme coins. So some high risk and something for fun. So I'm targeting normally with my capital now like 50% yearly gain, if that. So, and I have like 10 people, analytics team and traders and analysts and experts in different fields that actually manage my money, because I don't do much of that. I'm focusing on EVEDEX for the most part. And we decided it's like almost like a small family office type of thing. So we decided to use this and create products out of it as well. So that's how Financial Academy was built. A lot of the guys that work with me in managing my money.
Actually, let me pause you a second. So where I am with you in my mind is you're here. You have your trading, you have your courses.
Yeah.
Now you kind of segued into like a blossoming of various channels and ventures.
Yeah.
And that was all here in Dubai?
Yeah.
You say? Okay. Was this a plan, or did you spot opportunities and take the opportunities as they emerged? Were you kind of surprised by opportunities, or did you have like a vision, or was it a blend?
No vision. I just went and I just did.
Okay.
like right now we have this Financial Academy Trading Club. We have our own exchange, EVEDEX, and it all kind of came together. But we also tried probably like these three main things we have now that work, that are successful, that we understand. But in total, we probably tried 20 things that failed.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. And tell me about the trading club.
The trading club is just basically, it provides like a money button to people who don't want to learn this stuff themselves. Like we have education on the inside if they want to go and learn and study like how to trade, how to build the trading portfolio, how to manage risk, how to manage your money, etc. We have all that. But if they want to see what our traders do in real time, so for example, I don't know, they manage X amount of my money in my spot portfolio. So they buy or sell Bitcoin, or they buy and sell, like mostly Bitcoin. They don't. We used to just buy it. We don't sell it yet, but it's more with altcoins, buy and sell. And we're a spot portfolio, like accumulation of certain assets. So instead of just doing it with my money and me paying them salaries and some benefits, we also have created a product where they just post what they've done into like a channel, and people can see what we do with real money.
Okay.
So, and in this way, I make money from that, and I cover the expenses of salaries that I pay plus benefits to my employees. And at the same time, I get a good product and build loyalty among people. Because, like, for example, the last 18 months of our internal verified track record, every member can actually see everything we've done publicly. We cannot remove anything. So we cannot fake it. We've done like 80% portfolio gain in 18 months.
Well done. Mashallah, as they say here.
It's very good. Yeah. I mean, it's not 3, 10, 15 million X, whatever that retail people sometimes want to see. That's what they associate crypto with. In this type of market, what we've done is pretty fantastic. So that's the product, basically. Yeah.
Interesting. And EVEDEX, explain what that is and then how that idea occurred, and then we'll go deep.
Yeah. EVEDEX is on base level, it is just an exchange like Binance, but decentralized, and the settlement layer is based on its own blockchain. So it's like a new version of Binance. So, and I also worked a lot with other exchanges, bringing them users, and I made also good money with that.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, and that's what social media helped me do as well. And then at some point, I realized that they're cheating you on every single turn, so to speak. They're trying to skim your users off of you at every angle possible.
Really?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, man, we're like...
Terrible. Okay.
By my calculation, I was underpaid at least about $10 to $15 million in the last 3 years. So that's like $5 million a year. I was underpaid. I'm not complaining. I still did okay, but I know what they're doing, because I kind of dug very deep. Like whatever I do, I try to go real deep. And because I started poaching some of the managers from big exchanges, especially now having built my own. Like I'm really deep into the exchange business. I understand how market making works. I understand how liquidity works, which I didn't before, which was a big mistake that I told you about behind the scenes.
Yes.
And I understand what they do with affiliates. I understand it's a dirty business. So, and it was just an extra confirmation for me that creating my own exchange that made total sense. So.
Okay. And was the motivation for creating the exchange this experience? Or was it that you were sending so much traffic and you might as well use that traffic for yourself?
Yeah, I just might as well use it for myself. And I just wanted to see, I came from nothing, and I kind of was able to do the things that I promised my mother I would do, because my father left when I was 2. And when I was like 14, 15, I saw how many times how my mother was crying and like very upset and tough with money and stuff. Like we were like lower middle class. She was doing her best, and it was a tough time. So I remember I made her a promise that I would retire her, and that I would take our last name to a certain level where she doesn't have to think about something as measly as money, even though I didn't have it. That was my genuine promise to my mother. And at some point, like 5 years ago, I was able to retire her, because the government, you cannot count on the government. They're not going to pay nothing. So I pay my mother a nice retirement so she can wear whatever she wants, drive whatever
God
she wants.
bless you. That's all. That's
the point when I thought, I felt successful. When like it wasn't about wearing a watch or a suit or whatever. It was about my mother not working. So, yeah. And basically, that was the time when I realized that what's next. And I thought that if I could make $1, maybe I can make 2. And if I could make X, maybe I can make 2X. So I thought that why not try to make $1 billion? So the only way for me to get to $1 billion and fast is creating a product. And yeah, so basically that's how EVEDEX was born. So it's basically trying to solve, because EVEDEX solves quite a few technical problems and user interface problems, but also it is my own sports bet.
What do you mean when you say that?
Sports bet, because I think that business is a sport.
Okay.
for me, the bet in this sport is EVEDEX. So like I'm playing this game from the angle of, is it gonna work? And I want to see how far I can go and how much patience I have and whether I deserve to be a billionaire.
Okay, it's your crucible.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. This is interesting. You're actually making a trade on yourself, going long.
Yeah.
But you're not quite sure about it.
No.
Okay. Wow. This is wow. Okay. This is a little bit of drama. Okay. So you retired the mom. The mom's okay. So now the id and the ego are coming out. Yeah. Right. The good boy did his job.
Yeah.
And now the bad boy gets to play. I love it. Okay. I'm building a profile. That's cool. Yeah. That's cool. I like it. So had you built deep technical products before?
No.
Okay. How did you gain the confidence? And maybe confidence is the wrong word, but yeah, how did you know where to start? How did you manage them? What were your practical things?
I didn't know where to start. I thought I knew what I was doing. I thought that I just need to find the right people who will build the vision that I have. And I was kind of right. I was lucky in this life only a few times. And all of those times were with people. Mm-hmm. I wasn't lucky in many investments. Like with Bitcoin, I've done okay, but I don't think it was as much luck as I knew what I was investing in. And sometimes I had horrible unrealized losses. Most people would have sold if it wasn't for my conviction, which was because of my knowledge of what I was investing in.
I've been through that with Bitcoin.
Yeah, but most people do what? They buy Bitcoin 100,000, sell at 70, buy at 110 again. That's what most people do, unfortunately.
No.
So with EVEDEX, I had a strong vision. I knew what we needed to do. I saw what the market was lacking, like technically, without going into too much detail. And I knew that it's solvable approximately somehow, somewhere, by someone. And I thought that we can do it ourselves. So I had the money to do it. And I thought that why not? Let's give it a try. And we started building a team. And I got lucky.
Who's the we?
Oh, well, I have in my company, I'm the chairman of the company, but we have, because I wouldn't be able to build everything we've built myself. It's not possible.
So you had, from your prior activities, you had a structure and some depth of bench already.
Yes.
So you're not some guy sitting in a basement just trying to figure this out.
That's not possible.
You had human beings to interact with that you had a track record with and trusted.
At the time when I was doing this, I had already a team of 50 people.
Okay.
So, and I had a CEO, I had a co-founder, I had we had a CFO, it's like people who we had a good baseline structure that we could layer on top of an exchange. Now, none of these people actually work in the exchange, except for 2 people. We had to restructure everything. And some of the people, all of them are still with me, but they're just in the old business. In EVEDEX, we had to find all the right new people at the end of the day. I mean, they helped to start, but yeah. So
it's kind of normal.
It's normal,
as Rumsfeld said, though I don't like him for saying this, you go to war with the army you have.
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah, that's right.
I'm not saying he's a genius, but you had to get started, and you had these people on hand, and you must have trusted them on some level, and you probably got to the place where you had to get so far. You had to make the progress that you had to make in order to see the next phase, which you couldn't know at the beginning. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of normal.
Yeah. The same thing with technicals. We were looking for, the most important thing for us was the CTO. We spent about 3 weeks. Huh?
I could see that being the main challenge with what you're describing.
Because somebody's got to build the fucking thing,
Right.
Somebody's got to see the vision, understand it, respect it, get some fire in deep in his soul for it, because technical people are very specific, should I put it this way. And we found a guy who built exchanges before. He had a public exit. He sold his company for millions of dollars. I spoke to him. I gave him my energy. I gave him the vision. And he was referred to us by ex-vice president of Binance. So I found a way, one of my directors of my other companies, she actually knew the ex-vice president of Binance. She came to him and said that we need a good CTO. And he referred this guy, Vlad, to us. And I spoke to him. He loved the vision, and we've been together ever since. And he's built everything from zero. He even brought his own tech team. We have 25 developers, and he just brought them from one company he used to work at as a CTO. So I just ripped him out.
That company must love him if they're still around.
Yeah, no, not so much.
Not so much. Yeah, I was being sarcastic. Yeah. Okay, fantastic. And then do you want to talk about the liquidity thing?
No, we can. Yeah, whatever. Sure.
So let's keep it real. What did you think describe the issue or the term generally? What did you think was the case, and what do you now know to be the case?
Well, as I told you also off camera, there has been like 10 chicken and the egg problems. If you start a business as an entrepreneur, you're trying to build something, you first build the MVP, and then you move on to the next stage, maybe you raise some money, and then you target one market after the next, and you kind of expand, and you make money, you spend money. With a crypto exchange, it don't work like this. You either do it big or you fail. There is no other way. So in our case, first of all, initial budget for creating all of it, and even then I actually doubled the initial budget. Initial budget was 1.5 million. I was like, no, this ain't gonna work, at least 3. Just because let's just double it. Now we're at 7. So like
next year will be 14.
Yeah.
You ready?
So I should have done 4x initially, So I had to put out extra $4 million myself. So that was the first, which was painful. But second of all, it wasn't as big of a deal as liquidity. Because, finding $10 million to build an exchange, you can do that. It's not that difficult. If you want to build your own, if you want to just take a white label but it's not going to have any intrinsic value. You got to build shit yourself, especially like in our case when it's on a blockchain, it's like a hybrid model exchange, off-chain matching engine, on-chain settlement. There isn't too many white label solutions for that to begin with. But overall, anyway, this is buildable and solvable. The problem and we solved many of these things, really tough things, and even with employees and stuff, because try to find a good CMO for a decentralized exchange. Try to find good HR. Try to find a good CLO. Try to find a good CBDO. Good luck. Like genuinely good luck. It's hard. It's hard to find good people anywhere, but especially in crypto and this niche specific thing where they need to have this specific experience is
technical, ethical,
everything,
team-oriented. It's a lot.
It's hard. Yeah. So, but we did. We got through this. But the biggest problem that we are still solving is which is kind of a deal breaker because we've built a good product. EVEDEX is the first exchange in the world that actually puts on-chain proprietary, decentralized, self-custodial, fully anonymous trading into your iPhone. It's actually pretty, even a way revolutionary. We're the first company to do that. Now other companies like Oster and other competitors we have start to replicate the same thing we do, which is pretty cool. But it's all useless if you don't have good liquidity. What is liquidity for the viewers? It's when you go to an exchange, you put in $1 million and you want to open a long trade. Somebody needs to facilitate that $1 million. Certainly you can fake it, but then it becomes not an exchange, it becomes a casino. So it has to have real, genuine internal liquidity. And now I know so many billionaires and founders of crypto exchanges because I needed advice. I needed to find those people. I was looking for them everywhere. And I found ways to communicate with them. And some of them actually knew me before and I didn't even know them. So it was thanks to social media, by the way.
Knew of you, maybe.
They knew of me. As some of the guys I know, they say it's not about whom you know, it's about who knows you. So, and social media has helped me tremendously. If it wasn't for social media, I wouldn't be able to build nothing.
So, I think that's a great comment, and it's funny. I brought this up yesterday. There's New Yorker magazine.
Yeah.
There was first a cartoon that says, "On the internet, no one knows your dog." In other words, you can be anyone you want to be. They followed that up with another cartoon that says, "On the internet, everyone knows you're a dog." Like you can't hide who you are.
Yeah.
Right. So I've experienced a microcosm version of what you're talking about. The being on social media or doing events or having a YouTube channel. You don't know who knows you.
Yeah.
But there's something different in some conversations that even that they don't tell you that they know you, the fact that they kind of know you or someone else knows you somehow changes the air a little bit.
Yeah.
And it can cut both ways.
Yeah.
But I think you probably had a positive impact on a lot of people and been around for a while. So it facilitated the conversation.
Yeah. I met a guy who owns one big Chinese crypto exchange. It's in top 10. And he's a billionaire, 37-year-old Chinese guy. Funny, I love him. And I met him just by accident. He's like, "Oh, Thomas, I know you for 2 years." And I'm like, "Are you talking to me? The guy's a billionaire." And I'm like, "Okay." And he's like, "Come play poker in my villa in Dubai." And I'm like, "Okay." I should not have said that, but anyway. But so, and now we play poker quite often, you know, with a billionaire, just because he's been watching my content and some of it. I don't think he's.
I think how do you play poker, or did you study how to play the night before?
No, I know how to play poker. Right. Yeah, I'm a trader. I know how to gamble.
That's like if someone asked me to go golf, I'd be like, sure, yeah, great. Or poker.
Yeah. So, and it just was because of social media, and basically, yeah. So anyway, going back to the topic of liquidity, I spoke to so many of these guys now that one of the guys I know who owns $1 billion exchange, he started with just for liquidity, just putting it into his exchange, doing his own markets initially, taking the risk of the traders on himself initially, so that to solve the chicken and the egg problem, because you can get external liquidity from market makers and LPs, liquidity providers, but they want to see users because they don't understand what they're going to make with you. So they want to see users.
Are they making money on each trade?
Yes, they make normally in a good setting, they're going to be making rebates. So you can give them negative commissions, for example. Whenever somebody takes a trade against them, they actually make a commission. So you share commissions with them, so they make rebates. They can also do it on a retainer basis. So they, let's say they provide $1 million of liquidity, but then you pay them, the money numbers don't make sense. They will charge you like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month. For $1 million.
Does it make sense as a bootstrapping mechanism?
It's just too expensive of a bootstrapping mechanism. So you need to, normally for it to make sense, you need to bootstrap it yourself.
Okay.
So, or you need to have a strong partner, some billionaire that just out of a blue says, okay, I'll help you for whatever reason. You're my competitor, but I love you so much, so I'll help you, which is close to impossible, right? So the other...
Or you can find an exchange that's being shut down and the guy has to do something with money.
Normally, those exchanges that get that are shutting down, the guy is probably in the win somewhere because they're not shutting down. Because exchanges, once they're up and running, it's one of the best businesses in the world. Like one of our competitors on one day made 15 million in a day. So
well, you soon.
Yeah, well, these people don't talk to anyone. So
I know, but you soon. I mean, if this works and you solve the liquidity,
yeah, but no, for sure. Yeah. So theoretically, yes. That's okay. Yeah, I thought you said something else. So anyway,
no, not you soon arrested. No, you soon once you solve the liquidity issue and can scale.
Yeah. So the liquidity, like one guy said that he bootstrapped initially his own liquidity with 30 million. Another one said 50 million. Another one said 100 million. So, I mean, I'm sitting with the guy and he says, oh yeah, Thomas, you know, he's in a simple t-shirt, smoking a cigarette, Chinese guy, also another guy. He's like, oh yeah, put in 100 million. I'm like, who are you? Whom am I talking to right now? At the beginning of your business, you just threw in 100 million into just liquidity. He's like, yeah, I mean, you cannot otherwise start an exchange. And I'm like, fucking shoot me. And I've heard this after I was working on it for 18 months and spent 7 million.
Yeah, you didn't tell me before.
You didn't fucking tell me before that I will need another 100 million just for liquidity.
But then again, you kind of said, again, off camera, given your experience with exchanges, you presumed not to ask because these people were a certain way in your mind.
Yeah, right? I mean, so, I should have known about it. I mean, it's like, I'm making myself sound a bit dumb here. I mean, we knew about liquidity. We were just under the impression that we're going to be able to solve it with external counterparties. We were, for some reason, under the impression we'll find liquidity providers. Maybe we'll offer them equity. Maybe we will give them some kind of delayed rebate program or whatever. And we're going to show some users. And like all things kind of fell apart. Like we spoke to 100 I spent 2 weeks in New York on Wall Street talking face-to-face to founders of $100 million liquidity providers, market makers that manage like $250 million, $500 million, and those who could really come and really solve our problems like this. All of them told me to go fuck myself. So I've heard on 100 conversations I've heard 100 no's. So yeah, anyway, it was, and then I realized the only way how I can do it is do it myself because nobody believes in you, only yourself.
Well, the Chinese guy.
Well, I have a billionaire friend now that wants to help us. Yeah.
Most things in life get a lot easier with a couple billionaire friends.
yes, they do.
It's nice to hang with the oligarchs.
Yeah,
let them win the poker.
Yeah, I mean, it was so. You're saying this. It's so funny because you know how Chinese play poker.
No,
if they
I don't play poker.
Yeah, if they have ace, which is a good card, they go all in. If they have 7-2, which statistically in poker is the worst hand, they still go all in. So it's very easy to win. They're gamblers. I'm over-exaggerating a bit, but that's how they play poker. Like at least these guys. So when I went to their huge mansion, we were playing poker in the basement, And these guys, like every other hand, it's all in. And I was constantly winning because all I had to do is just drop a bad hand and play with an okay hand, and I would fucking win. So, and I was trying to not win, but I was winning the entire night. And
you're trying to throw the fight to ingratiate yourself so you can get liquidity.
I felt horrible. I mean, I said at the end, I said, guys, you know, I don't need no money. Like, I felt horrible.
I don't need no money, but if you want to give me 100 million of liquidity,
that's fine. We can do that.
It'd be nice. Yeah. Sure. Exactly. Okay. It sounds like you're going through. Yeah. I like your path. You're in Latvia. You're not poor, but you're nothing special. It sounds like you're normal there.
Absolutely.
You know, and then you have the mom who's in this situation, and you know that makes a certain impression. Then you kind of handled. If I was to get all Freudian on you, it sounds like that complex got handled by retiring her, right? And so now you have the next bigger thing, and there's some character growth involved with this, and some challenges. Yeah. You know, and here in Dubai with the posh life, and I think you'll be successful. I've known you for a while. You're going to power through. But, you know, everything in life is not a straight line.
It's all, even if, you know, I don't like to say these things, but even if EVEDEX would fail, the amount of work that I've done, the amount of connections I've just ripped out of this universe for EVEDEX to happen, the amount of character I had to build, the amount of like things I had to learn, that even if we don't solve liquidity, even if if it doesn't work, something next that I will do, like the more you work, the harder you work, the more you build yourself up, the probabilities of failure at some point become zero.
Sure.
So it's like, yeah, money is painful short term, but whom you become in the process is what actually is valuable. So,
and you know, as I said in The Watchmen, nothing ever really ends anyways.
No.
Who's that? Failure what? What's a failure? I mean, if it went that route and you did something else based on this experience and was successful, then it's all one war.
Yeah.
But who knows? But I think there's more than. Look, what do I know? You're in the foxhole, but this is a very entrepreneurial world. A lot of these people, yes, in some ways they're jealous of their platforms, but a lot of them are supporting new things and like the camaraderie and like the adventure. And sometimes you can get a celebrity effect. You know, it's like, you know, it's a social media thing. You know, it's people form these parasocial relationships. They feel like they know you. In some ways you do, because, you know, we're having you know, if you and I just met, I don't think we'd be having this conversation right off the bat. But here we are, you know, with your film and your microphones, and, you know, things come out that don't normally come out in like your first coffee conversation. Yeah. And so people form connections online very fast. And, you know, I used to think it's fake. I don't think it's fake at all. I have friends where I've known them for 2 years on Zoom. Okay, I meet them in person and we're just talking normally. And then later on, we realized that was the first time we physically met in person.
Yeah.
And I'm like, have we ever actually met before? They're like, yeah. I'm like, when? I can't remember. I'm like, is this like, am I in the Matrix? Is this like Dark Mirror? It's like, you know, did I just get spontaneously respond here? I can't remember when we met. Like, well, we did a bunch of Zoom calls. I'm like, yeah, I know, that was Zoom. So it's action produces entropy, and entropy produces information and results. So, you know, you got the discipline, you got the history and everything else. I don't know. You show me the platform, and it looks very cool. It looks very smooth.
It's all just thanks to
and it's on your phone.
Yeah.
And you got the Kessel Run.
Yeah.
Talk about the entertainment aspect of it.
The entertainment, you mean of the platform or what do we?
Your UI was a little cute and fun and engaging.
Oh, no, yeah, we've just built a gamification.
You gamified it?
Yeah, we gamified it. So because usually on exchanges, it's boring. You have VIP levels. The more you deposit, the smaller fees you get. So we did it differently. So the more you trade, you get skill points, you get XP points, so you build up your character. The character changes shape. And then you get extra cash back and other perks. So it's just a bit more fun. We just wanted to, like, our Asian users really enjoy it.
That's cool. And I don't want to leave on the table, you also have the Academy. And you kind of gave me an overlook of that, or overview of that. Can you explain what that is?
Financial Academy is basically a place, I mean, we have 2 academies. One is inside of EVEDEX, and the other one we have just a big academy as a separate product. But both of them are similar concepts. It's basically where people can learn all the things that school failed them at. So it can be financial literacy, it can be understanding of blockchain, it can be understanding of marketing, of social media, understanding of trading and finance and money and etc. So yeah.
And how many courses or programs?
There's like right now in EVEDEX, I think there is like 10. In like our main financial academy is also like 10 topics.
And there's multiple parts to each. You showed me. It looked intriguing.
No, it's like 1,000 lessons in total. It's a big ecosystem.
So it's kind of a continuation of your earlier roots of doing training and classes.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's kind of neat. I walked in to your first building. You have a gym and you have a trader there. So your main trader's with you.
Yeah, he actually lives at my house. Yeah.
Wow. What interesting.
Yeah.
You created a very sort of...
Some people you need to keep close.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just because he's responsible for millions of dollars.
Yeah, definitely keep him close.
Yeah.
Smart. Yeah. I like it. Any final thoughts, words of wisdoms, or?
I don't know. The longer I live, the more I understand that I know nothing and understand nothing. I don't even understand why I'm doing the things I'm doing sometimes. So I just could wish to your viewers and to the audience to be in the moment. Forget about the past because it's never going to come back. Don't too much and too hard about the future because it didn't come yet and we don't know what is going to be there. Plan ahead a bit, but enjoy the present moment and try to really sometimes sit down, relax, have a cup of tea and watch people go by who are just on autopilot. Turn off the autopilot and because all we've got is now. And that's what matters the most. So that's what I would wish everyone. And a bit of money too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gordon.
Great conversation. Appreciate it. Good job.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Cool. Ask me whatever.
So give me the origin story like Wolverine.
That was very childish in some sense, I guess. And we had very good connection with him.
In the US, that sounds like a felony. In Germany, it sounds normal.
I said, guys, I don't need no money. Well, I have a billionaire friend now that wants to help us.
The good boy did his job.
Yeah.
And now the bad boy gets to play.